John, a game at the league leaders is always going to be a tough game. What do you make of the performance?
Well, you've seen it yourself, didn't you? You know, that game could have gone either way. You know, I don't think anyone was better than each other. They took the chances that were presented to them and we didn't. That was unfortunate, you know. The first goal, I think, was always going to be the turning point in the game, and it's a double ricochet that goes through one of our players' legs, lets the lad in, and it's a great finish. You know, we know he's been in a rich vein of form, so we can, you know, he scored a few this season, and then it's hard, but we committed men forward. It's an individual error for the second goal, and, you know, we accept that things like that happen. But, you know, on a balance of play, I wouldn't have thought you would have known, if you were looking from a neutral point of view, you wouldn't have known he was top and he was sixth. You know, and that's no disrespect to Ipswich because they are a very good side, and they showed that when they got the tails up at 2-0. They passed the ball well, moved it round, counted on us quite well. But we give them enough to warrant a few scares in themselves, and you know, we've got to just stick together now. This team's only going to get better, I promise you. You know, there's not a lot of experience in the team, but they're young, they're keen, they work hard, they've got a great spirit, great character about them. And the more you find the feet in this league, the better they'll get. And you know, we're going away disappointed that we've lost to the league leads at a massive club, Ipswich. Little Accrington, as people call it. Well, we're not Little Accrington anymore. You know, we're a team who's an established League One team. People know that they'll be in the game when they play against us. And so, yeah, we're disappointed that we've lost. You know, we'll take positives from it. We made plenty of chances. We worked hard. We played some lovely football. And then, you know, we'll just ourselves down and we'll prepare for the game on Tuesday. But we're not going to be too downbeat. Sometimes the rubber the green doesn't go for you, and today was one of them.
You did go toe-to-toe them, especially in that first half. Lots of positives at one end, a Wakwe with a brilliant free kick which totally tipped round the post, and your goalkeeper had a couple of really big moments as well.
Yeah, Toby made a couple of great saves. You know, we squandered one or two chances. You know, Matt went clean through and you'd expect him to do better. Joe Pritchard on the edge of the box, putting it over the bar, you'd expect him to do better. Coley just unlucky, he's got an open goal but he's poked it wide. And you just sometimes it's not your day, and we had a couple of things where the ball's bouncing down. We had a deflection that the keeper's made a good save from in the second half. And, you know, we had plenty of opportunities, and you've got to take them. And we had a couple of spells when we were on top, and that's when you've got to score, really. Disappointed that we haven't scored. I think it's the first time we haven't scored this season, is it? Yeah. So, you know, that's a disappointment. But I know we're improving, and you know, we certainly give a better show than what we did here last year. We were in the game right to the end today, and give it a good shot, and you know, we'll go again.
Full debut for Michael Nottingham today. He was a man of the match contender for Stanley. What do you think of him?
Played really well, Michael, and the more he gets to know us, the more he gets to know the way we play, the better he'll be as well. But you know, I think if you counted up the total league experience of about 5 or 6 of our players, you'd be struggling to get into the 20s. So, you know, we're thankful that we've got the likes of Mark and James, and even Ross now being an elder statesman, you know, to draw on their experience. But the young lads, they're going to make mistakes. But what you can never fault them for is effort, and the effort's been magnificent from day one of the season. And, you know, training's really vibrant, it's bright, it's a really good tempo. And we'll keep going, trying to do the right things, and hopefully get the little bit of luck that our efforts deserve.
You've had this run of games without Dion Charles. He's completed that suspension now. How much are you looking forward to having him back?
Well, you know, the simple truth is that we shouldn't have been playing without Dion Charles. You know, the referee who sent him off got stood down the next week because of his performance that day. And I'm sure that was a major factor in him not getting a game that week. But you have to live with these things, you know. We won't be the only club who's been punished for a player who's done nothing wrong and being sent off. We won't be the first, we certainly won't be the last. And you just have to deal with whatever life throws at you, and as best you can. We're over that pain now, we've got Dion back, and I felt for Dion myself because he's been a breath of fresh air this year, worked his socks off, scored a great goal the other week. And he feels though he's been stopped in his tracks, but you know, things like that happen in football, and you've just got to keep going, keep going, keep going.
Yeah, and he'll come back chomping at the bit, feeling he was out the side unjustly.
I hope so. But you know, you've got to earn your right to get on the place at our team. You only get that through hard work. Thankfully, we've got everyone chomping at the bit to get in, and so whoever gets selected, you could say they're fortunate to be selected, but they're doing it through their own hard work, and you know, you've got to work hard to keep your shirt.
Long trip today, but a couple of back-to-back home games. Firstly, Fleetwood on Tuesday.
Yeah, it'll be a tough game. You know, we know all about Fleetwood. They all know all about us. And you know, if we can play our style of football, I know we can play. We can give anyone a game in this league. We've shown that today, top of the league. So we don't fear anybody in this league, but we'll give every team the respect that they deserve, including Fleetwood on Tuesday and Bristol Rovers on Saturday.